How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Let's Play Darksiders. Azrael is beaming with pride, but he still wants more beams. Luckily, there's a third tower yet to go in the Black Throne. Now, I may have said that there's a bunch of cool stuff coming up in Tower 3, but I was lying because I literally don't remember any of Tower 3 except the part here leading up to it, which is a cool part, and that's probably what I was remembering. So first, before we even get to Tower 3, we need to go all the way far out of our way in order to get a key, and if we float to the ledge over here after coming out of that portal, we get the first artifact of the episode. This part gave me an unusual amount of trouble the first time I did this, because there's some confusing shooting portals through portals things coming up here. You have to shoot a charged portal through that first portal, and you do that so you can jump through this one and get launched way far out. If you don't shoot a charged portal, you don't have enough, you don't get launched far enough to cover the distance. And here we're waiting for this rotating column to make its way around so we can get that face of it. You'll see as it rotates clockwise. See a bunch of red crystals we can blow up, but what our goal is to make it across to the other side, where there's another spot to place the portal. There's a Wrath chest to my right, but I'm full on Wrath. And there's a bomb we can grab with the hook shot, which, if I did this right, should have just barely gotten. I feel like I may have just missed it, so let's come over here while we're waiting for that thing to rotate around, open that up with the crossblade, and we'll see in a second if I got it. Yep. So, blowing the red crystals up gives us access to a chest with an abyssal armor piece. Now, if I had done a little bit of backtracking through, let's see, where did I miss an abyssal armor piece? I think I missed the one in the Ashlands that I couldn't have gotten to when we first went through that dungeon. If I had gone back before entering the Black Throne to get that, I would have been 9 out of 10 right now, and we would have the abyssal armor piece probably by the end of the episode. I mean, the entire abyssal armor, rather. But we're gonna have to do some backtracking in the finale. Which is fine, because we have a bunch of stuff that I've missed out on in the dungeons anyway, just from not having later dungeon items. So there was always gonna be a lot of backtracking. Plus, there's kind of an endgame collectathon that we have to do. So yeah, there's gonna be some finale backtracking. And that was our goal all along, was to blow those red crystals up on the room that we came from. In the room that we came from. And now we have an easy path back here. So that raises the pedestal all the way up. The key that we need is actually at the very top of this room. So what we're going to do, we're going to make our way to the top of this spiral staircase, and we're going to fire a charged portal onto the top of that pedestal. Like so. Then we're going to drop to the bottom of the room where there is an active portal waiting for us. And so the extra velocity from the charged portal, that spits us out right where we need to be to get a beholder's key, which we need to access tower number 3. Now we can make our way down here. I can drop now. And we're done. We just have to make our way back to the room we came from. Which is actually kind of cool, albeit the way we get back there is a little bit confusing. Because we're firing portals through portals through portals. And now you can probably see why I got a little bit stuck there the first time I did this. Now, oh, no. I was thinking about jumping for it, but I wouldn't have caught up with it, and I would have wasted a whole lot of time because I would have fallen all the way to the bottom, and I would have had to redo a bunch of stuff. So, nah. Oh well. So, at the end of the last episode, we redirected the beams to Azrael from the second tower, and we got a whole lot of exposition from him in a cutscene. As if it wasn't already heavily foreshadowed, it revealed that Abaddon is the Destroyer. Abaddon is a name from the Bible, And the Greek translation of the word Abaddon means destroyer. So, yeah, kind of obvious. It's on the nose, but if you don't know much about, like, Abrahamic mythology, it'll slip under the radar that Abaddon was the destroyer all along. So I actually like this plot. I like that whole scene that we got at the end of the last episode. I like that twist. We find out Ulthane's role in giving Azrael the sword that breaks the seals. Azrael being manipulated by Abaddon. Abaddon's cause being kind of righteous on the surface of it until things go horribly wrong. So far so good. My only problem with that, just structurally, is that we've gone a very, very, very long time without any exposition, and it was all just dumped on us in that one cutscene. The game kind of makes up for it by introducing really compelling characters like Ulthane and Samael, and having Samael's whole fetch quest be the lead up to this point. But really, plot-wise, you get the very beginning of the game, and then you get very little until you get to the Black Throne here. So just structurally, it's a little weak, but the actual plot itself, I like a lot. I like the plot of this game. And again, yeah, the foreshadowing's on the nose, but I think it's the kind of thing that's obscure enough that not everyone is gonna realize Abaddon was the destroyer all along. And we still have a while to wait for the elevator. I think I've just been screwing around. Oh yeah. It was actually perfectly timed. Normally I finish them all off before the elevator gets up there, but he was just messing around with the Tremor Gauntlet. Alright, what do we have in store in Tower 3? I honestly don't remember any of this. So this is going to be a big arena. I think they introduced a new enemy type here. Am I wrong about that? No, it just looks like the same old, same old. Oh wow, we haven't seen those guys in a while. The Pestilent dudes, whose names I'm now forgetting because it's been so long. There's not really a need to do this, but might as well. And just because they're afflicted with pestilence doesn't make them any stronger against affliction. They do introduce a new enemy type here. These guys are a pain in the ass. They have a shield butt that they can do. Shield bash. There we go. And they have a big whirlwind with a hammer that does a lot of damage. And they take tons of hits. Like, that took almost the entire duration of my extended chaos form just to kill one of them. But that's fine, we get a full health refill, we get a full wrath refill in this room. So the first room of the tower is just a big combat arena, following the elevator section, which is also just a tiny combat arena. You'd think they could have condensed that a bit. Like, introduced the new enemy type in the elevator room. But hey. So we have one of these again, we've had one of these in the previous two towers, we'll have another one here, with a slightly different gimmick. You saw the bomb flowers on the wall, so that's what we're kind of waiting for. We shoot a portal through there. That one also has to be a charged up portal. You'll see why in a little bit. So I'm waiting for a chance to grab this. And yeah, that was well timed. Maybe I can make it out. Yeah. No, it's rotating away now. Damn it. It keeps slipping away. It's like happiness. That's fine. I think that's facing the right direction, right? Yeah, go. I will make it this time. And that's that. So, just like the last two times we did this type of section, this type of room, we have another big combat arena. This one is probably the toughest one in the game, I would say. I am kind of remembering this. Those big Hellguards. No, Hellguard is the name of the Angels, their faction. Don't know what to call this guy. This big bruiser. There are 4 or 5 of these that we have to fight here. I think at the end of this arena, we have like 2 that we have to fight back to back or simultaneously. So we'll use up all my wrath on the initial ones, and then I should have Chaos Form built up for the pair that are coming at the end. And again, this is thanks to War's Glory that we're building up Chaos Form so quick and keeping it around so long. Good, that was my last bit of wrath for that invulnerability. I don't think that's their whirlwind attack, that's a different attack. Yeah, he's gonna take a bit to go down. Oh, I can take the hits though. I'm near a health chest. Otherwise, I would probably try to be a little bit more careful. And they don't really have that spectacular an execution animation. Excuse me, guys. I'm gonna go top off real quick. Because why not? Maybe I was wrong about this. Maybe they only spawn... No, they don't change that much in Apocalyptic. Like, hard mode, they only increase the amount of damage enemies take and the amount of damage they do. Like, they don't change enemy behavior or, like, they don't remix the enemy spawns or anything like that, so... Oh well. While I'm waiting for them to spawn in, I'll come and grab the wrath. There they are. Alright, get close, so the first hit of the transformation hits both of them, and we can just tee off. Bam. Takes what, 4 3-hit combos? Boom. Now I'll try to just catch him on the backswing. There we go. That plan worked out so well. And, oh, I thought he wasn't dead for a sec. That can be really, really threatening if you don't have Chaos Form ready for that part. So you kind of have to know that's coming. Or just get a little bit lucky. Alright. Oh, I remember this room. This room's really cool. This is a gimmick in it that I don't think you see anywhere else in the whole game. So we place a portal there, and if we place a portal there, and then we hit this, which lowers the blue portal, and it drains all the water and spills it out into, through the other portal. That's nifty. Alright, so we've done that. Come back out on this side. And now that this side is flooded... Oh, that's not the way I want to go. We actually can swim across and jump up to this ledge, where we can turn a switch. Which does a thing to the big column in the middle of the room. And then we make our way back to the door that we entered the room from, and there was a switch back there that we didn't hit. And that switch, I believe, turns the machine in the middle of the room, and it should, if I remember this right, reveal a spot to place a portal down. Yep, there it is. Right on the back. Now, what am I doing with this again? Okay, so it's gonna spit me across there. So then I want to use the portal that I placed down in, the crevice that I drained. And, yep, spits me right across. And then I want to say that's the last room of Tower 3 aside from the mini-boss room coming up. So yeah, it's not that spectacular a tower. And as I go through this, I'm kind of remembering the rest of it, like the next half, which is just the backtracking while redirecting beams part. This is a shitty tower. There's one cool room, and it happens to be... Well, I mean, that gimmick was neat, but... On the way back, there's one cool room, and it's the first one we came in where we fought that, the big guy, the bruiser. And this is our gimmick for the third fight with this mini-boss. Which makes it a lot easier and a lot quicker. Oh, I guess it wiped away my portals when he activated. Okay. Yeah, so instead of waiting for him to break the grates so we could place a portal down, we just place him on the walls and drift over to him. So we don't really even have to wait for him to stun himself with an attack or tucker himself out. And the fight itself is just the same as it's always been. Get on top of his head, stab him in the brain, place some portals down, yada yada yada. Not necessarily in that order. Oops. Ah, shit. He was a little bit too close, and that was a charged up portal, so it spat me out too far away from him. Yeah, stab him in the brain. Stun him, take a couple shots, run away to the wall. Same thing we've been doing. I really feel like what they want you to do is place a portal on one side of the room and then place another portal on the opposite side to get away from that big whirlwind attack, but the range just isn't far enough. Whoa, fuck. I messed that one up a little bit. Let's try that again. And this will be the end of the fight. So this feels like it was probably the quickest fight against these golems yet. There we go. Knock him the fuck out. And from that big, glowing, crackling core in the middle of him, we get the energy for the beams. Now we can start redirecting the beams. So first off, place that there. That dissolves the wall. And now we remove this portal. And this is a small extra passageway. Doesn't lead to anything terribly spectacular. It just leads to a totally different elevator than the one we used to get up to here. Yeah. And while we ride an elevator, it is a small miracle. I don't know if I've said this before, but it's a small miracle that this game exists at all. Vigil was formed, I think, before the start of last generation. It started out as a studio of 4 people who went around trying to sell publishers on this Western-style Zelda God of War hybrid about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Also, that was the whole puzzle for the room. It's just hitting that one switch. Fuck that. That's dumb. Yeah. And they didn't, at the time, they didn't even have development kits for the PS3 or the 360. And they were a brand new studio trying to sell publishers on this concept. In addition to that, they wanted it to be this big, sprawling RPG, and they had to really scale that ambition back and come up with some really cool prototype builds that they funded themselves out of pocket until THQ finally agreed to pick the team up and help them fund Darksiders. So that tells you a lot about how Darksiders 2 happened as well. They got THQ's confidence with how well the first game did and how well it turned out. And in turn, they got more slack to fulfill their creative vision for the first game. And they were able to realize a lot of the features, like all the RPG elements that they wanted in Darksiders 1. They still never got to do the 4-player co-op thing they wanted to do in Darksiders, at least not in Darksiders. From what I could tell, a lot of that stuff went into a game that I think I brought up in the LP before, a game called Horrors of the Gilded Age. So the other rooms in Tower 3, backtracking while carrying the light through them was pretty boring. This is actually kind of a neat room. I don't remember exactly what I have to do here, but I remember some of the stuff in here being pretty alright. So first off, you've probably noticed this when we first came in here. On the minimap, you could see a big green artifact icon. It's at the very top of the room. We couldn't reach it before. We have to do something specific to get up there. So we have to place a portal up there, we have to make a charged portal, and then, I guess the closest one that I've placed down would be right here. Fall into this one, get launched out of this one. Bam! Champion artifact. It's one of our final ones. And now, I have to kind of re-figure out what I'm doing with the beams. I know I hit those last. Let's see. Do I need to place a portal here for something? Guess we'll find out. I kind of have an idea of what I need to do, but we'll see in a second. I think there's a chronomancer back, or a chronosphere back here. Get those mixed up all the time. So we hit that. I think I hit this. And that will, I think, raise that up. And then you have to hit both of these at once to raise the gate. Boom. Yeah, there we go. Then I will hit this, because I think that keeps the gate raised. I did something wrong. I probably placed one portal in the wrong place. Let's take another look at this. Oh no, you know what this does? The switch on this, it turns it around 90 degrees. Yep, so there's another portal right here. Oh, okay, I see what I did wrong. There was no need to place a portal on that surface. Okay, yeah, I got this. So now we hit that switch. Oops. Now, nope, now we hit that switch. And then we just do the same thing we did before. We open this gate up, and it should redirect the beam through there. Yep. Would you look at that? An actual puzzle in Tower 3. Shit. Tower 3 is one good gimmick and one good room. One good half of a room. Yeah, certainly not as good as Tower 1 or 2. Makes this a bit of a flaccid ending for the Black Throne. But that's okay, I still like this dungeon a whole lot. Like, the gimmick of the dungeon overall and the Voidwalker is still very strong. These long loading elevators are not strong. I should have saved my story about Vigil pitching Darksiders to THQ for right now, to eat up a little bit of time. One final beam. Can't do anything just yet, though, because we still have to redirect the beams to Azrael's prison, or his chamber. There is that. And I'm gonna have to wait for it to make another full rotation.
Straga awaits.
Looks like you finally outlived your usefulness, Azrael.
And how do you propose to leave the tower once Straga has been dealt with? Straga and the tower are one. Even if you manage to defeat him, you'll be trapped without me.
We need him.
Pray the horseman doesn't make it back alive.
You know, this place reminds me a lot of the Nexus now that I think about it. Especially with this big chamber opening up underneath it. And this leads down to Straga. Oh no, I'm sorry, this leads down to another elevator, which will probably eventually lead down to our rematch with Straga. Cue the Mass Effect elevator music. Alright, no more Mass Effect elevator music for the rest of the episode, which is just going to consist of this showdown with Straga. So, of course, the gimmick of the fight is going to involve the Void Walker that we got in the dungeon.
Stronger than Straga, remember it. But here, you face Straga with no hope of victory or escape. Straga is the mightiest of the Destroyer's chosen.
And the last. Your master chose poorly.
Straga will enjoy killing you again.
Yeah, Straga, for being the mightiest of the Destroyers chosen, is probably one of the easiest fights in the game. That's all we have to do. We do this 3 times. We shoot a portal onto Straga's giant mace. We shoot a portal into the ground. We end up on his back. We stab him in the back. Take a couple swipes at his face. He'll get really mad. And he'll start summoning really, really weak-ass minions. And we'll rinse and repeat that 3 times. So for this first one, we'll use Chaos Form. Next time, we'll use up all the Wrath, and that's just to speed this up. If I'm quick enough, I should be able to kill every minion before Chaos Form runs out. Yeah, Straga is not really the mightiest of Destroyers chosen if you're going by, like, in-game difficulty. I would probably give that to Tiamat, and she's still not very hard. Tiamat, Silitha, Griever, the Stygian, then Straga. Straga's dead last. Yeah, sometimes he'll do that too. So it's not like he can't hit you, but look at the pitiful amount of damage that does. So now we'll wait for him to be dumb and raise it over his head again so we can get onto his back. There is one more boss fight before the final boss after Straga. And I'm not going to spoil who it's with, although you could probably guess, but it's probably my favorite fight in the game. They don't even throw particularly strong enemies at you between phases. It's just these goddamn jobber fallen angels. Jobbers everywhere. Oh no, he slammed his fist on me. I mean, you can go into one portal and come out the other side of the arena to avoid his slams and his attacks, but it's like, whatever. Oops. Oh well. Come on, tell me I didn't miss my timing. There we go. And this will be the whole fight. This is gonna be it. Stab him in the back. This will be the 3rd time. Take a couple more swipes at his face, and then we'll get a beat prompt.
As I said, Straga and the tower are one. Now let's see how useful I can be. He came to me after his death. Abaddon, alive, and I wanted so much to believe. I was such a fool.
Azrael, you saw Abaddon after he fell.
Saw him? I brought him here, to Eden.
What treachery is this, Azrael? Eden doesn't exist. Not anymore.
Ignorant sprite. I bore witness as the first ones were cast out and the garden fell to ruin. I could not let heaven's first gift and greatest weapon simply rot, or worse, fall to darkness. I hid it away.
The Tree of Knowledge. Then, Abaddon has been to the tree.
You must draw upon its gifts now. If some way exists to stop the destroyer, the tree will show it to you. I never dared use it myself. Perhaps if I had, things would have been different.
And Abaddon, what of his gift?
That was not for me to know. Each who comes before the tree receives a different gift. Some receive nothing. Others are driven mad by visions, or simply destroyed. No, I cannot say for certain. Come.
Azrael leads us out of the Black Throne into the abandoned, desolate Garden of Eden, which is still pretty beautiful. Yeah, that's gonna do it for today. Next up, we have the finale to Let's Play Darksiders. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.